How to do a challenge. Passion, purpose, publish the podcast. So today's question comes from Karen, which is how to do a challenge as a coach, author, consultant, community leader, how to incorporate a challenge into your community building, content marketing process. So as everyone knows, challenges are really an amazingly easy way to engage your audience in an immersive experience where they're actually changing and challenging themselves to grow or flow or go in the direction of transformation. So I am going to really quickly share some simple templates that I use in my own writing, in our communities, and in our courses to help people make change. So for me, the challenge process is simply the engagement of your audience in an experience. So rather than just teaching from a top-down perspective, you kind of flip the script and come up from underneath. So the challenge just allows you to articulate and share your wisdom in a way that gets people involved and gets them to participate in having or getting the sorts of outcomes that you'd like to see them achieve. So here are some things that I'll do. So here's an example of a challenge I recently did, which is called What Are My Feet Doing? Using a mindfulness alarm to get back in your body, out, and rather than being stuck in your skull. All right, so essentially I challenged my audience to create their own mindfulness alarm. In my case, I was using what are my feet doing as something that I ask myself when I find myself, angry or distracted or ruminating. It's a simple alarm that allows me to get back in my body and out of my head. So I challenged them first to do that. And then we covered why do you do that? When do you do that? So in this case, when you find yourself lost in thought. How do you do that? Ask the question, whatever that mantra is, whatever that question the individuals in this course created for themselves, that's when they ask that question and get grounded back in their bodies and out of their heads. All right, so the other piece of this challenge is a more directive oriented. So rather than prescriptive, it's directive. So in this case, it would be do this when that. Tip, do this, to improve that. Why? Next action. You get very, very specific about what people should do when. Do this next. Why do you do this next? So in my case, again, it was when you do this, when you feel yourself ruminating or lost in thought, or the first moment you realize you're losing your freedom, ask, what are my feet doing? Tip, it doesn't have to be your feet. It can be anything. Your feet, your fingers, your face. The key is moving attention back to the body and out of being stuck in your head. Why? This will serve as an alarm. The more energy you give to being lost in thought, the more momentum it takes, and the more you will find yourself drifting into that dangerous space. Dangerous being just mind-wandering, which in our community is considered dangerous. Next action, share how this makes you feel in our Facebook community. So the next action piece is how you really get people engaged and immersed in sharing and interacting and connecting with the community overall. All right, so that is the general template for using a challenge in a really small lesson plan, and it really works wonderfully well. Thanks so much.